Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most unbelievable and inspiring stories of World War II. It's the story of a man the world once mocked, a man many believed would never fly again, but who went on to become one of the greatest fighter aces Britain ever produced. His name was Douglas Bader, and his rise from the one-legged pilot to a legend who shot down 22 Luftwaffe aircraft is nothing short of extraordinary. Douglas Bader was talented, confident, and fiercely competitive long before he became famous. He joined the Royal Air Force in the 1920s, a time when flying was still considered dangerous and glamorous. Bader stood out right away. He wasn't just a good pilot, he was exceptional. But in 1931, everything changed. During an airshow practice, Bader attempted a risky low-level aerobatic maneuver. His aircraft struck the ground, and the crash cost him both of his legs. Doctors didn't think he would survive the night. Even if he did, they told him he would never walk normally again, let alone fly. But Bader refused to accept that life was over. With sheer determination, he learned to walk on artificial legs. Not slowly. Not painfully. He pushed himself until he could run, dance, climb into a cockpit, and even play golf. That attitude shocked everyone. Instead of quitting, he became stronger. But the RAF still had doubts. They saw him as disabled, someone unfit for the demands of aerial combat. Some even mocked him, calling him the one-legged pilot behind his back. They never imagined they would one day envy him. When World War II broke out in 1939, Britain desperately needed experienced pilots. Bader insisted on returning to duty. Eventually, after extensive testing, the RAF agreed. And just like that, he was back in a fighter cockpit. The Spitfire and the Hurricane were the cutting-edge fighters of the day, fast, agile, and deadly. But controlling them required strength, coordination, and lightning-fast reflexes. Many believed Bader couldn't possibly keep up with pilots who had both legs. But Douglas Bader had something far more powerful: confidence, mental toughness, and absolute fearlessness. One reason he excelled was that his prosthetic legs gave him a strange advantage. They didn't get tired during long missions. They didn't cramp under high G-force turns. While other pilots struggled to keep steady after hours of flying, Bader remained sharp. His first real test came during the Battle of France in May 1940. At the time, the British Expeditionary Force was retreating toward Dunkirk, and German aircraft dominated the skies. Bader and his squadron were ordered to protect the withdrawing British forces. In those chaotic battles, Bader quickly proved himself. He shot down multiple enemy aircraft, often taking on several at a time. He didn't hesitate. He didn't panic. He flew like someone with nothing to lose. By the time the Battle of Britain began in the summer of 1940, Bader had become a leader. He was placed in command of 242 Squadron, made up mostly of Canadian pilots. They were inexperienced, and morale was low. Bader turned that squadron into a disciplined, aggressive, tight-knit fighting unit. He pushed them hard, but they trusted him because he always led from the front. Bader also challenged traditional RAF tactics. Instead of sending fighters in small defensive formations, he developed the big wing strategy, launching large groups of fighters together to overwhelm the enemy. It was fast, risky, and controversial, but it scored results. Under his leadership, British fighters inflicted heavy losses on the Luftwaffe. Throughout the Battle of Britain, Bader became famous for his bold flying style. He would dive straight into massive formations of German aircraft, breaking them apart and throwing the enemy into confusion. His confidence inspired the men under him. To his enemies, he was terrifying. To the British public, he became a symbol of defiance. By the end of 1941, Bader had shot down 22 German aircraft. Some historians even argue that his real number was higher because many kills were not recorded due to the chaos of air combat. Regardless of the official figure, he became one of the RAF's top aces, and he did it all with artificial legs. But his story doesn't end with victory after victory. In August 1941, during a mission over France, Bader's aircraft collided with an enemy plane. He managed to bail out, but one of his prosthetic legs got stuck in the cockpit. He barely escaped with his life, landing behind enemy lines. German soldiers captured him immediately. When the Luftwaffe discovered who he was, something remarkable happened. Instead of mocking him, they saluted him. They respected his courage so much that they contacted Britain and requested a special ceasefire. The Germans asked permission to fly a British aircraft over France to drop a replacement artificial leg for Bader. Britain agreed. It was one of the strangest and most honorable moments of the war. Even as a prisoner of war, Bader kept resisting. He attempted to escape again and again. Eventually, the Germans locked him in the escape-proof Colditz Castle, a prison for the most dangerous Allied escape artists. After the war, Douglas Bader returned home as a national hero. He spent the rest of his life supporting disabled veterans and encouraging people to never accept limitations placed on them by others. His story is more than a war story. It's a reminder that strength is not measured by what we lose, but by how we rise after losing it. Douglas Bader's legacy lives on not because he had 2 artificial legs, but because he had an unbreakable spirit, a spirit that proved to the world that courage can make the impossible possible. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this incredible true story. If you like content about forgotten heroes and remarkable history, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more amazing stories.